Guys, if you don't know, Nick Reiner is currently in jail for the murder of his mom and dad.
Birth video shows Rob and Michelle Reiner's son in a deep and disturbing crisis.
Sometimes I just come out to gather my sick thoughts.
The clip shows him walking around his lavish neighborhood and wandering the Brentwood estate where he allegedly killed his parents.
Say and spell your first and last name for me.
I ain't gonna tell you my first and last name. Well,
What? What?
most people know me as Dida David.
The clip is
David?
shot as a mockumentary as Reiner takes on an alter ego and raps this haunting line.
Because I'm a snail and I never gonna fail. And you know what? You're gonna have to bail me out of jail.
He also appears to light up a joint along with his sister Romy. And there's this scene with a white powdery substance.
Oh, no. What is that? I'm sure it's aspirin crushed up because he has a headache.
I got like 100 personality disorder.
When a dog interrupts the filming, he makes this eerie threat.
I'm gonna go kill that dog.
He shot the video in 2016 when he and his famous dad
Rican vibes for sure, dog.
were promoting their new film, Being Charlie, loosely based on Nick's struggles with drug abuse. Wall Street Journal reporter Benjamin Fritz has new details into Nick's bizarre behavior at Conan O'Brien's holiday party just hours before the murder.
Yeah, Conan decided not to call the police, man, because he was like, I don't want the cops at my place. Like, bro.
Nick's demeanor was very odd. People were kind of baffled by him. He was going up to people, asking them, "What's your name? What's your last name? Are you famous?" Which is, very
Weird.
bizarre behavior. And some people thought he may have even come off the street.
Was he specifically asked to leave?
I believe he was asked to leave, but I believe that his parents left with him.
Romy Reiner, who lives on the family's compound, made the horrific discovery of her parents' butchered bodies.
Damn, man. Damn.
Her home is next door to the family.
Damn, they have a compound. Wow. This is some next levels of wealth right here, guys.
Tennis court and across from her parents' main house.
Damn, bro. This is next level. This is generational money right there.
The Reiner fortune is estimated to be a whopping $200 million. Many are wondering, does accused killer Nick Reiner stand to inherit part of his parents' fortune?
That's crazy. If he is one of the executors of the estate and he is getting like some of that, whew.
This estate planner says if Nick is found guilty of the heinous crimes, the short answer is a definite no.
California, like most states, has a statute called the Slayer statute, which says that a person who has feloniously killed a person cannot benefit from that person's estate in any way.
As for who's paying the bill for his high-powered defense attorney, Alan Jackson, who earns a hefty $2,000 an hour?
God, dude. 2 racks an hour? Oh, my God. Oh, just on a 40-hour work week, right? $2,000 an hour is like $4 million a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you tell us who retained you, sir? He's not saying.
Oh, man, who's paying that bill?
The information.
Now, as far as what he's about to plead, guys, I think this is going to come as no shock or surprise what he is going to plead.
Based on the information we now have, Nick Reiner is not going to plead guilty to these murders. He is going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity, and here's why. We have learned that Nick Reiner was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was under the care of a psychiatrist and receiving meds. His behavior in the month before the murders, and this is a quote from sources with direct knowledge, was erratic and dangerous. He went to an LA rehab facility in the time before the murders. He had been to a number, but in particular this one that specializes in treating mental illness. It's really expensive. It costs $70,000 a month. Lots of rich, powerful parents send their kids to this facility.
$70,000 a month and they still get clapped?
Who have mental illness, and Nick was there. In the 3 to 4 weeks, and this is so important, in the 3 to 4 weeks leading up to the murders, Nick's medications were changed. And they were changed because he was exhibiting more and more erratic and dangerous behavior. But when they were changed, they weren't right. And it was making him, as one source put it, crazy.
Oh,
And
no.
They
This sounds like the grounds for him to be found innocent by reason of insanity or temporary insanity. And then he can inherit the goddamn $200 million estate because he was technically never convicted of murder.
Doctors were trying to adjust the meds, but it wasn't working. And he was getting more and more erratic. In addition to that, Nick was abusing substances, and we're told the substance abuse worsened the schizophrenia. So all of this paints a picture of someone. In fact, these words were used to us by one of these sources with direct knowledge, that he was, quote, out of his head at the time of the murders. So based on everything I know, this is not going to be a case where they contest that Nick did it. I think they're going to concede it. I don't know that for a fact, but all of the dots that we now have to connect lead us to this is not going to be a not guilty plea, I didn't do it. This is going to be, at least at this point, based on everything we know.
This is major.
Without saying more about sources, if I were a betting man, I would say this is a not guilty by reason of insanity.
I'm with you. I am with you. Oh my God, man. That would be
Tonight,
crazy.
we're learning more about the mental state of Nick Reiner, now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the killings of his parents, Hollywood actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. A judge in Reiner's case signed a sealed medical order on Friday. According to 3 sources with direct knowledge of the case, the 32-year-old was being treated for a serious psychiatric disorder at the time of the crime.
Man, you think he's going to get off? Now, here is some crazy audio from him.
Wellbutrin and cop it on the street? The way I got Wellbutrin is actually really fun. I was at a Lena Lodge, and I don't know if I told this last week, but they refused to give me meds. So to prove I was crazy, because they were like, you don't need any meds.
Yeah,
and I was like freaking out. And I was like, you don't think I need meds? And they're like, yeah, we think you're just all up to an act here, and this is all just fake. And I said, okay. And then I went back to, the Roost. Remember the Roost?
No.
That's what they called the little barracks.
Okay.
And I was like, how do I show these motherfuckers that I'm crazy?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll throw a rock through a window. Yeah. So I started walking, and they have this thing there that they love. That little church. It's not a church, really.
Yeah.
It's like
they were building that when I was there.
It's like a meeting room that is like has these big glass windows, and they loved it, and they always were like, Mrs. Delaney was here when they built this, and I hated that whole thing. So I took a rock, and I started on the path, and I was going up this hill, and my friend Peter's like, where are you going, man? And I was like, can't talk right now, I just got to do this. Yeah. And I went and I threw the rock through the window, and some woman saw me, and she ratted on me, and then they put me on Wellbutrin.
How'd you get Wellbutrin?
Damn, dog. I mean, he was plotting on getting drugs. Nick Reiner resurfaced interview. My dad talked me down during an 8-hour acid trip.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm alone, any number of terrible things can happen. It's best for someone to know about this. And my parents had already been through a long process of in and out of rehabs with me. So, they'd see me do coke and heroin. So I didn't feel like saying I was on acid would be too big of a deal. So I walked into my parents' room. The lights were off. They were asleep. And I said, guys, I have something to tell you. And they're like, whoa, what is it? And I was like, I took acid tonight. My mom was like, oh, I can't deal with this. I'm going to bed. And she ran downstairs and went and slept on the couch. And then I'm with my dad, and I'm lying in bed, tripping my ass off, thinking about the Cleveland House of Horrors, and he's like, "Calm down, buddy. It's okay."
Bro, that Cleveland House of Horrors is real, dog.
I used to do this in the 60s. You'll come down eventually. It won't be forever. And I was just trying to and he just talked me down for 8 hours straight.
That's really sweet.
Acid. And they never grilled me for it. They never, and it just sort of was
I think if I were parents and my kid came and volunteered information like that's a really good way they handled it. Instead of being punitive, you know what I mean? They just were helpful.
Yeah.
Well, his dad was helpful. Look, son, I'm gonna talk you down an 8-hour acid trip.
Yeah.
So you sat in you were laying in bed. Were you in the same room as your dad, or?
Yeah, we were lying side by side on a bed.
Oh my god!
Looking up at the ceiling while he told me about the 60s.
Oh my god, that's wild, dude.
So basically, I was like,
"Damn, dog. Damn, dad loved his goddamn son. Son could care less. Son just, maybe the son was truly out of his mind with the medication that he was on. I'm leaning way towards this. I'm leaning towards this. It's unfortunate. Now, who do you blame? Do you blame the doctor for prescribing the medication that wasn't working, or the quote unquote wrong medication? We know the son killed him. There's no denying that, but was he in his right state of mind? The answer is no. Is leaning towards no. It's leaning towards no. Will a jury convict him? Will a jury of 12 people convict him of murder and not see him as being temporarily insane due to the wrong schizophrenia medication? And that's what some DA is going to have to figure out. And that's what that $2,000 an hour lawyer is for. That is going to secure that not guilty by reason of insanity plea. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Peace.